Hey folks, this is Colin with the Try Arbor Tree Care YouTube channel. Today I'd like to give you my experience with the Arbsession friction hitch. For frame of reference, this is a 10.3 millimeter dynamic sport rock climbing rope. This is 11.7 Hyperclimb Cool, and this is a half-inch 16 strand Arbor Freak rope. I don't use this for tree care. This is just to give you an example of what it would look like on a smaller diameter rope, say a 11 millimeter static line rope. The 11.7, this is the rope that I have the most experience on. This and a 32 strand 11.7 diameter rope are probably the ropes that I have the most experience on. And then this is my lanyard right here. This is half inch, again, 16 strand. This is the Rope Runner Pro, just to give you a size comparison of what this hitch will allow you to do by allowing you to use the short tethers. There, you can see they're about the same size. This one's a little bit longer, but not by much. This is 8 millimeter ocean polyester with grizzly splice, and it is the 4-wrap version of this. So this is the longer, I think this is the more appropriate actual Arbsession hitch. This is Samson Ice Tail. This is only using 1, 2, 3 wraps on it. This is a 28 inch hitch. This is a 24 inch after hand splicing. This came as an 8 millimeter rope, but after splicing, it feels and measures more like a 10 millimeter hitch cord. This is Epicord 9.3 millimeter, I believe. And this is on the shorter end. I want to say that this is also a 24 inch hand tied termination hitch cord. And this is another reference. This is a very long VT tied with 8 millimeter ocean poly. This is a 5-wrap version with the Courant Phoenix 8 millimeter. And finally over here we have 10 millimeter ocean poly. This is tied the 3-wrap method. So some of the pros of this hitch, it's again very small, doesn't take up nearly, it's smaller than the size of my fist, and it will allow you to use these smaller rope wrench tethers. This one's from Arbsession. I did a review of this on my channel. And by using these small tethers, we can get down to the size of some of the larger mechanical devices. This is not ever going to be as small as the Akimbo or the Unisender, but it will get you down to roughly the size of the Rope Runner Pro. And the advantage of this is it can be side loaded without much consequence. I'm not saying do it, but I believe this to be a bit more forgiving of side load. I was climbing on a distal before I was climbing on this, and I find this one to be, for my weight, which is about 215 pounds with equipment, I find this one allows me to unlock much better than the distal did. It's just as easy to tie as the distal, in my opinion, once you get the hang of it, but it does not have any lock or sit back when you go to weight the system. It unlocks super easily, which is not something that you're going to get on something like a long hitch such as a VT or an XT. You're going to get that unlock, and then when you go to advance the system, you're going to push up and it's going to sit back until it locks, usually about 2 or 3 inches, maybe even more, like 4 if you have a really long one like this. Another advantage of this system is that it tends to tend very well. So even on a long rope walk, I don't feel the friction at all. I would say it's not nearly as smooth as a mechanical, but we're getting very, very close. And especially, it depends on which hitch cord you choose. Something like this Ice Tail, while it might not last nearly as long as a tougher hitch, it's very, very smooth, and it's very cheap to replace. So you can go through this without too much consequence. The only disadvantage I find with this hitch cord is that it doesn't love sap. I think the VT might handle sap a little bit better, but my solution to that is to A, try to avoid the sap at all costs, and B, I can get this hitch cord so cheap that it's really not a big cost factor to have 2 or 3 of them in my bag and maybe one of them in my pocket. So if I'm doing a large removal of pine, say, and I get sap all over my rope or all over my hitch, I can take this hitch off, even in the tree, pull out a new hitch cord from my pocket, tie it on, and we're off to the races. Or I'll just swap the ends of my rope. But I do think that this thing will handle sap a little bit better than some mechanicals on the market. That's about the only drawback, and it's about the same kind of drawback you're going to get with any other kind of system. But just a philosophy of use comment here. A lot of folks are going to go right to the mechanicals if they want to see an improvement in their climbing. And I think that the hitch climber setup is a little bit more versatile, and it's not necessarily old technology compared to the mechanicals. We're constantly improving the rope wrench tethers, the pulleys are getting better, the hitches, the hitch cord materials are getting more heat resistant, and we're coming up with better hitches every day. And so I think that if you're climbing on this system, you're not being left behind. This is still new technology to a lot. But if you're considering a mechanical, but you already have this, try out different hitches, try out different hitch cords, lengths, diameters. You'll be surprised what doing a little bit will do to fix your system. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it gave you a little bit of reference, a little bit of size reference, and my experience helps you a little bit. This is the hitch that I'll probably continue to climb on many years from now. I don't plan on changing it. I tried the Catalyst for a little bit, and I came right back to this. Tried a couple different hitches, came right back to this. So thank you for watching. Hopefully it helped. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and stay tuned for more videos. Thank you.